Before we get underway with tonight's show, we just thought that it was only right that we actually took a moment to acknowledge the passing of our Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, 96 years old and a 70-year reign. She will not be forgotten, and I'm sure the boys will join me in just taking a moment to reflect.
On today's episode, Pogo Milo UK is fannying around Europe. Masterful 27 gets back from fannying around the UK. And Ian Waterfall couldn't be more excited because I introduce our first ever PvP guest onto the show. Welcome back to Incensed podcast. I was going to say, how are all three of you? But no, how are you both? How are my boys?
Well, it's been a bit of a bombshell day, really, hasn't it? Which we addressed a second ago, but
yes.
Other than the sad news today, we're ready for it. Barrow is back from his birthday bender.
How you feeling, Bender Barrow? No, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
It's good to be back. I mean, I wondered where you were going with the intro, because I thought you were going to say Ian Waterfall couldn't be more excited because you mentioned Fanny twice at the beginning. So
it means something different in the States, dude. It means something different in the States.
I'm good.
I was going to say retake.
It's good to be back, boys. And you didn't lay too many digs into me when I was away last week. It's good to be back.
Listen, bro, I had your back.
You did have my back.
I had your back, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, and apparently you two are officially lovers.
That's what lovers do, Ian. They have each other's back.
So wait, Marks, you know when I said I'm answering this for Mark, did I answer them all correctly?
You answered them correctly. I was very proud. It was like we knew each other. But Ian, good. I don't think it's weird. I don't think we're capable of getting the four of us together now. Do you think this is like going to be an ongoing thing now, moving forward?
Next week, I'm confident next week the four of us will reunite. Kind of like Coops coming to the GoFest finale.
Yes.
So, Coops, how are you doing?
Mate, I am all good, thank you, Marky boy. And of course, in light of what Ian did say in the introduction, of course, rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth II. It's definitely been a weird day here in the UK. And I actually think around the world, I saw so many of my friends overseas in America have messaged me like, Coops, what the hell? Like, the Queen's passed. I'm like, yeah, bro, like, I know, like, this is massive. So yeah, of course, thoughts to the royal family. Yeah, madness.
No, I agree completely, boys. It's been a very, very strange day. And again, we don't want this to be a somber one, but like Ian and Coops have said, this isn't something that a lot of people have known anything other than having Queen Elizabeth II as our sort of leader, as our queen. You know, I heard something on the news tonight just saying that everybody under the age of 70 has only ever known this. And when you look at that as a percentage of the population, that's absolutely, it's crazy. And again, unfortunately, it's going to be another one of those moments where we'll remember when we heard that news and it'll be like, I think like you said, it's only fitting we do say something because, you know, it has impacted the Commonwealth, head of the Commonwealth. There's loads of countries that are going to be thinking exactly the same. And the most recognised figure on the planet was also, I heard her described yesterday, and you couldn't disagree with that. So, really sad day. But only fitting that we did mention it, definitely.
Sure. Totally agree. And speaking of things that it's only fitting that we mention, you might notice that one of the quartet isn't here tonight.
I know.
Anyway,
Ian, wait. Hold it, because I've got a really exciting intro, and then we're going to hear from Milo, okay?
Let's do it. Yeah.
So, of course, let's just spice things up. Let's move on. No more sadness in tonight's show. Ladies and gents, if you haven't already, please do make sure you drop down that incense.
Pop your incenses, champions. Let's go.
And please do tag us on any of our social medias at Incensed Podcast if you do manage to bag a beautiful shiny whilst listening back to tonight's special episode. And please do include the hashtag Shinies of the Week so we can find you. And of course,
clarify the spelling for me.
So that we can find you. Now, from that intro onto a way more exciting intro.
Are you not going to clarify it, Coops?
Come on.
Oh, sorry. Hashtag SH. Bro, I'm so excited. I'm like wet who I'm about to introduce. So hashtag SHINISOFTHEWEK. Yeah, you know the drill. Hashtag trying to be. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Ian, do not interrupt me here. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, I am super excited, as I did say, to announce our first ever Go Battle League PvP guest onto the show. Now, let me tell you, this man, I love the fact you've all seen the title of the episode anyway, but this man will have a video in 0.5 seconds available on YouTube when a new move is added into the game. And this man has 33.9 thousand subscribers on YouTube with a total view count of 12.5 million views. Wow. 12.5 million views. It is my pleasure for a man whose content I've been obsessed with for a while. Please welcome to the show, HomeSliceHenry!
Good evening, gentlemen. How's it going?
Good evening, Henry. Henry, mate, listen, thank you so much for coming on, bro. It is amazing to have you on the show, bro. Seriously, thank you for your time.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, Henry, it's brilliant. This is so funny, and I'm going to tell you for right now, like, seeing Coops fangirling you is absolutely brilliant. Like, this is no different.
I know, for a second I thought he was going to introduce Pokédaxi again.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
This was no different to me at Worlds when I met Leonhardt for the first time, and I'm going, oh my God, Leonhardt, and all the guys are looking at me going, who's Leonhardt? And I'm going, TCG.
Yeah, but you had an excuse, you'd had beers.
That's very true. That's true. And if you do hear this by any chance, I was a blithering idiot that night, and I do apologise. But Henry, it's lovely to see Coops infused, and I'm infused as well, because I'm a PvP-ish person, and I'm quite excited for this one, mate. This is good. Are you scared yet?
Listen, like, you lot don't realise, right? As a yeah, Henry, are you scared? You're thinking, what have I done? What have I got myself into?
Yeah, what did I do wrong to have to do this tonight?
I'm just sad personally that it's only 2 p.m. over with me. Otherwise, I would have a brewski open with you boys. So sadly, it's a bit early here, but I have my water in spirit. So,
but no, you lot don't realise, like, as a person that loves PvP and GBL, HomeSliceHenry, for real, bro, content is insane. Seriously, with all due respect, I would love to say you've kind of come out of nowhere over the last 6 months to a year. Content's insane. So yeah, seriously, thank you for all that you do for the PvP community, trying out those shitty new moves so we don't have to.
Yeah, honestly, I've kind of played Go since the start. Did a lot of more shiny hunting, but since Go Battle League came out, it's been something that just immediately clicked with me, and I really enjoy the strategy element behind it, because kind of from the surface, you just like, oh, it's like tapping a phone, how in-depth can it be? But like, the more you get into it, the more layers there are, and there's a lot of different like technicalities, skills you can learn to improve your gameplay. So I like trying to throw those nuggets in while I run just the absolute worst possible mons you could find. Hopefully bring some entertainment, but also have people learn a bit along the way.
Tap. But dude, you still make it work though. That's what makes. By the way, Ian loves to throw out jingles, and that's my PvP. Right, Henry. Let me give you a bit of an insight. Right.
Okay.
Let me give you a bit of an insight. Me and Mark PvP, but unfortunately Milo and Ian. Milo's not here tonight. They don't PvP, so we've constantly got this battle. And
we do, but we're just not as enthusiastic as you guys.
And I will just say, actually, speaking of Milo, obviously Henry, you know, as a respect thing, you know, Milo does want to say a few words. We might as well play that for you guys now.
So yes, I'm not on this week. Apologies for my absence, but I'm sure the boys will do a stellar job without me. If there's no sound effects inserted there, I'll be very disappointed. Lads, have a good show and show the guest a good old incensed welcome. And I will be back the following week when I'm not. I think I'm midway through Austria.
Fanning around
Europe. Listen to this show when it drops on the Sunday. I will be back in good old British Blighty. But as it stands, I've currently travelled X amount of 1,000 miles, and I'm somewhere deep in the heart of Europe. So back to whoever's hosting this week.
What did I used to say? No one cares. No one cares.
What's Milo saying? He's deep inside. What did he say? I fucking lost that.
But But yeah, so basically, so Henry, so that is the other, just to give you a bit of knowledge, that is the other person that hates PvP and thinks it's a load of crap. But over the last few weeks, we've converted them. Since Worlds, we've like converted them. So yeah, like I said, hopefully tonight makes them fall in love with GBL even more.
Holy
Anyway, boys,
dolly!
it's now time for the Getting to Know You section.
And now, children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed podcast.
Really brief question tonight, lads. Henry, we'll start with you, bro. Are you a headphones, this is stupid while I'm looking at you wearing headphones, or earphones kind of guy?
Well, I would say if I'm like making content stuff, headphones all the way. But if I'm just like out and about, definitely more earphones. So that way there's just a lot less going on. I can just slip them in the case if I need to instead of just having the headphones with me. So if I'm like in the house, probably headphones, but on the go, earphones for sure.
Ian?
Pretty much going to echo Henry's answer. If I'm doing content, the actual proper cans are on because they're so much better. But if I'm literally out and about, grinding, walking, listening to music, then I'm going to go AirPods, not earphones, because Apple through and through. Yeah.
Oh, fancy. Okay, I see it.
Marky boy, have you got the Android version of AirPods?
No, I haven't. So I'm going to answer it slightly differently to the boys so far. I have got some noise cancelling headphones, which are great for when I'm travelling on public transport and I don't want to hear anyone else. But I do prefer earphones or AirPods. I have bought some AirPods, which I use on my Android phone, and they are the best thing I've ever bought. I'm going to be honest with you. They're fantastic. They are fantastic. I've got the Gen 1 ones as well, even though they're the original ones, but they're fantastic. They're just so state-of-the-art for what they are. Yeah, I just find wearing headphones all the time, just find them make my ears sweat. How bad does that sound? Yeah, I'll try and avoid headphones wherever I can, basically.
I will have to agree, of course, with my third boyfriend, Marky Boy. I am earphones through and through, to the point where I actually, a few weeks ago for my birthday, I actually got AirPods for my birthday from my family, which was lovely. But when I was younger, I was like one of the first, oh god, I'm going to sound like a right cock, but I was one of the first people to buy AirPods. I was in Australia at the time and I was so excited. They were like the first ever pair to come out. But when I got back, this is going to make you laugh, when I got back to Croydon, I'd had them for like 2.5 years. I actually got mugged and I got them. Have I told that story before?
No, but you're just reinforcing the whole Croydon thing.
So I actually got mugged for them, and ever since then I've bought like a £20 pair of earphones, and everyone that sees me, they're like, are you really? And I've had them for years. All I've had is earphones, you know, to the point where I'm so scarred they're still upstairs in my room unopened, and it's been nearly a month.
Oh,
bless you.
Can't you just get some AirPods when you're not in Croydon?
like Croydon headphones. But yeah, see, Mark, that's the only time I wanted to live rural. Would my AirPods get stolen by you?
They'd probably get lost. They wouldn't get stolen. Mate, I'm lucky if I see. I'm lucky if I see anyone, let alone someone who's wanting to steal something when I'm walking up and down the high street. If you call it that. Guys, we were saying this before, Henry, where I live, like I can literally play a community day where I live on a Saturday and still have nobody like bothering me walking around the village. It's great.
That's just unfortunate.
What's the game like where you live, bro? What's the game like where you live? Is it?
I can drive like 20 minutes to a half hour to get to a city that has some pretty nice stop density, but if I play by me, it's rural enough to the point where I have a very similar experience. No, that is for real. Under a mile from my house, there's like a whole pasture full of cows. That is real. That is real.
So Henry, do you go cow tipping at night?
Surprisingly not. No.
Cow tipping. Do you live on any stops or gyms?
I have one that's like walkable, but not like a house stop or anything. I checked out my local area because I was pretty big into Wayfair when the pandemic first hit because I didn't really have anything else to do. But there's just nothing out here that isn't a stop that would qualify as one because it's like, oh good, a tree. What am I gonna do? Submit that? Like there's just nothing out here.
I've tried to do that before.
Likewise.
I cannot wait to hear more. So we're going to pass it over to Marky Boy for Grill the Guest.
So this is that jingle. It's almost like when you hear it play, it reminds you of.
It's established.
It's established, isn't it? It's like you hear it, but it grates one ear, but on the other ear, it's
terrible.
like, actually, you know what? There's something kind of familiar with it. I don't know why. Grill the guest, Henry.
And Coops, that was the remit when we started this show.
It was actually in, and we shouldn't lose our roots. Definitely. We should not lose our roots.
Yeah.
But no, this is the Grill the Guest section, and Coops is absolutely right. Love you too, bro. This is all about you, Henry, and it gives us an opportunity to get to know a little bit about you. We're going to throw a few questions. I know Coops has already sort of set the scene, but it's very friendly, very cheeky, very bantery, and this is just going to help the listener get a better idea of learning a bit more about you around the content and a little bit what makes you Henry and all that. So, Henry, obviously your name's Henry. I'm assuming that. How did you get the name HomeSliceHenry? And am I being presumptuous that your name's really Henry?
Well, my name is not actually Henry. No. So when I...
I love the fact before the show we're like Henry this, Henry that, and you're like, so it's not actually Henry, but you're too nice to say guys.
At this point, I just go by Henry when I'm doing stuff in the Pogo community, and honestly, it works out pretty great. The tough thing was actually at a Seattle Go Fest. I was there with my fiance, and she actually did a really good job of because normally we interact day to day. She uses my real name. She was 100% on, called me Henry throughout all of it. I was extremely impressed. I was like, I couldn't have done that. I would have messed up. Oh. But yes, so back to the username. So in 2016, I believe summer 2016, when the game first came out, right?
Yes,
yeah, it would have been 2016.
Yes. Okay, perfect. I happened to be at a music festival, the Summerfest Music Festival, with my then college roommate, and the game came out. I wasn't interested at all. Clearly aged very well, but he was super into it.
That's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every content creator's come on, they're like, I didn't really want to do it. I love that.
So he was really into the game. He was Team Mystic. He was like, you have to download this. So I was like, okay, I'll download it. I'll keep the roommate situation happy if I download this app. So I download it and I try like any of my usual usernames. Everything's taken. So I'm like, I need something so ridiculous that no one will have picked it. So I went with HomeSliceHenry and it picked, and I was like, all right, perfect. Sounds good. I'm probably going to use this app for 2 days and never again. And this will clearly have no overarching consequences on the rest of my life in any meaningful way. And 6.5 years later, here I am on a podcast. So
oh wow. So it had nothing, it literally pulled out your ass.
Yep.
With all so it wasn't an artist at the music festival. It was just
100% just split of the moment. I needed a username. They were walking one way. I was like, I don't know what to do because service wasn't the best over there. I was like, HomeSliceHenry. Except, all right, time to go catch stuff.
That's it.
Love it.
So obviously you don't have to, but are we gonna get an exclusive of your actual government name, or is that not?
Ooh.
Do you not like putting that? Do we not like that? Because I've got a government name as well, so I can understand.
Yes, you have.
I just assumed it was Coops, to be honest. First name and last name.
No, it's
what
not.
What I'll say about my real name is one of my goals for this upcoming cycle is potentially to be one of the shoutcasters for a regionals tournament, and if that happens, they do list your government name. So I'm gonna save it for then, because hopefully,
big reveal.
If I tone down the language a bit, maybe they'll let me shoutcast one, because I am enthusiastic, but not always the most safe for work when I commentate. So we'll have to see on that one.
So then, Henry, who's not actually Henry, but won't tell me his actual name. So the next question. No, by the way, I love that plan. I think that's an awesome plan, and I hope that works out for you with the shoutcasting. I love that. So I know it's a bit boring and a little bit bland, but talk to me about the YouTube thing, because obviously the growth in YouTube, and I think, God, mate, I've been a subscriber of yours, I think, since 3000. I want to say maybe late 2000 I found you. If you scroll back, there'd definitely be a comment from me somewhere. Yeah. At what point did you think, do you know what? I'm gonna, do a pokey AK and do my Go Battle League battles. Yeah. No, but with all due respect, your content in regards to not showing your face, that's the content that you do, and the only person that I know that does that is Pokey AK. So talk to me about your transition into starting YouTube and to be where you're at now, absolutely killing the game and having that niche of new moves, new everything, you just, get uploaded right away? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I initially started the channel because when the pandemic hit, I was set working from home. We weren't able to get out a whole lot, and I was just feeling very stir crazy, very creatively unfulfilled, I would guess. And I did quite a lot of performing theater, acting in student movies and stuff in high school and college, and I really missed that performance aspect of it a little bit. So I decided, you know what, I've been started to do this battle stuff, I'm really bad at it, but I'm just gonna start streaming it over on YouTube and just trying it out. And then I ended up just really liking it and being able to make content, and even if I did absolutely terribly, being able to commiserate with others who were like, all right, well, you also had an awful day of PvP, bet, sounds good. So I ended up doing that for quite a few months. I didn't show my face in videos initially because I was working off of a very old laptop with a horrendously awful webcam. So it wasn't even a separate webcam. It was literally just my laptop that I had I think since my senior year of high school. It was very old, barely worked. So I was
by the way, I was joking. I'm not trying to say you were copying Poké AK. That is not what I'm saying at all. Seriously, we've all been blocked. That's not
same. Yeah.
No. Trust me, there's only so many ways you can make a Pokemon Go video, bro. That was not. I just
you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah.
You copycat? No, I'm joking.
No, I'm not nearly angry enough for that, but all right, moving on. Yeah, so it was initially purely just limitations of the setup. I had a way worse pair of headphones as well, so the first audio for my couple of videos straight up sounds like a 1940s World War radio broadcast level quality audio. And then I really liked it. I really liked getting to the live streams as well and just interacting with people. That part of it was just something that I was really missing from staying inside so much. So then I just kept doing it for quite a while. And then the big focus on doing new moves and stuff like that came when Greninja was first released. I think it was December of 2020 or so. It released, I was just doing my normal thing, just working from home, went out on my lunch break. There was a silhouette of just a Froakie on my nearby, because obviously just dropped, didn't have one yet. I was like, cool, I'm gonna drive, go get it, take a small detour on my lunch break. I catch it, I appraise the IVs. I kid you not, 0-14-13, first one that I caught. So I was like, I'm just gonna use all of my rare candy and build it. And then and at this point I've been doing YouTube for 5-6 months, only had about 300 subscribers, but I was still loving it. So it's I have this thing, I'm just gonna try it. Had a lot of fun, put out a video, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it was a combination of Greninja being a fan favorite, mine being the first, but that was the video that I had 300 subscribers and I posted that, it went off, and within 2 days I was at 1,000. It was just absolutely mental.
And that's normally when you have new in the title and the thumbnail, that really helps as well with the PvP stuff, I think, as well. And you do that a lot, and I love that.
Yeah, so since then, I was like, if there's a market for it, I'm gonna just keep doing it, because that's kind of how my channel got to be where it is now. Because genuinely, the fact that it's grown as much as it has is still just absolutely flabbergasting. I kind of just, if I ever just sit back for a moment and think about it, it's incredibly humbling and also very terrifying. But I kind of I just have so much fun with it, and the fact that there's people out there who are willing to watch me do this stuff is still, I think, just the coolest thing in the whole world. So it's just something I'm incredibly grateful for.
Yeah. Sticking with the YouTube stuff, obviously your whole channel is built around PvP. You've got the screen capture over commentary. Have you ever felt the temptation to do a traditional vlog style video where you actually go out and grind the game rather than just PvP?
Yeah, we did one for the last Go Fest that was in Chicago. We ended up doing a vlog and quite enjoyed
in 19.
it. Yes. And then it was, well, I think there was one in 20 as well, possibly. No, not
We
20.
hadn't found you by then.
There was some event, I could be misremembering. There was some event in Chicago that I went to and we ended up vlogging it. And we were planning on releasing a vlog for the Seattle Go Fest that me and the fiance went to. But unfortunately, we tested positive for COVID after the fact. We caught it there. And that a bit derailed our plans.
So did a lot
with
of
that,
people, actually.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who ended up testing positive after that, which was really unfortunate. And like, we tried to take as many precautions as possible, but it was just, yeah, it was quite unfortunate. Thankfully, we are doing better now though, which is good. But yeah, so there was a plan, unfortunately got slightly derailed, but I do primarily like the PvP stuff because I'll be honest, in the Midwest where I'm from, especially in my rural area, there's not a whole lot of like exciting places to go to compared to like a city place you can explore. Mine's just like, oh, all right. And today we're looking at cornfield number 7. This is different from cornfield number 3 we had yesterday.
It's a good cornfield. Number 7.
Sounds like you know where Mark lives.
Didn't you know we're actually neighbors? Come on.
Across the cornfield, exactly.
So sticking with GoFest, you kind of opened a can of worms there because Mark went to Berlin, Milo and I did actually come to Seattle. We probably walked past each other. What was your particular highlight from the Seattle GoFest?
I would say getting to meet a lot of the people who I had gotten to meet online in the PvP community and just getting to be able to put faces to names and actually interact with those people. It was just absolutely incredible because PvP, especially the community for it, I would argue really didn't like blossom until like the pandemic because a lot of us couldn't get out as much, so we sat inside and tapped our phone screens a lot and just being able to build this community for 2 years, but not really being able to. Obviously we got to interact with those people, watching them stream, whether it's being in Discord calls and whatnot, but being actually able to like put a face to the name, hang out with fellow content creators. Like got to meet like Pogo Doms, Rise, King, Cindy, Wild Susan Boyle, just so many wonderful creators, and I'm obviously forgetting loads of names, but we just getting to meet everyone was just absolutely incredible. That was definitely the highlight for me.
Cool. And how upset were you that they put the PvP arena right out the way at the back on the football field?
Honestly, I thought it was perfect because being able to walk onto a football field, look at me. I have zero athletic ability. That is my first time I could walk onto a pitch with confidence in my whole life. Are you kidding me? That was great. That was me absolutely living there.
Henry, just out of interest, how long do you get away from obviously people not knowing who you are until they go, do you ever talk to someone and you get like 30 seconds in and they're like, I really recognise your voice, but I don't know where from. I bet you had that a lot because obviously you don't show your face on the content.
I did have that happen actually. I was walking around, you know how we had those signs where it's like what you want to trade for, what you're willing to trade away. Yeah. And I was looking for a Great League Regirock and the dude stopped by, he's like, yo, I have one, let's trade. And then he keeps kind of looking at me funny and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, like it's a hot day. And so he scans my QR code, he just sits there, looks at the name for a second and goes, you're HomeSliceHenry? And I'm like, yes. The voice sounded familiar. That was very entertaining. Yeah, I do show my face on live streams, just not on videos.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But I do a lot more videos than live streams, so the vast majority of people only know the voice, I'd say.
And some people don't even like live streams. People don't like sitting there sometimes and just watching a stream.
So following Worlds, Henry, and we were all there in London, saw it in the flesh, and sort of I was just totally caught up in the moment. It was very inspiring, and it was great just seeing how people can time everything. And we're seeing both people, and we're assuming they can see each other's screens when they can't, and you're watching this real dynamic go. First question is, have you tried to qualify for the Worlds in sort of regional heats before? Or if not, is it something that you're interested in doing in the future? And if not, is there any reason why not?
Yeah, so personally, I didn't end up trying to qualify for Worlds. Like, at least for me personally, I would say my...
Pussy.
Coops.
Honestly, fair.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm only joking, bro. I'm only joking.
Coops, you
part of it is I just really enjoy primarily focusing on, I guess, the content and the shoutcasting aspect of it more. Like, it's something where if I do participate in one of those events, I think I would more prefer it to be as like a like color commentator more than a battler, because battling is absolutely incredible, but being able to watch battles and convey what's happening to people in like a digestible manner, so that people who don't necessarily watch a lot of PvP can understand some of the intricacies, the mind games behind it. And that's what I thought Worlds was a big success with in terms of Pogo. Was being able to showcase what is possible in PvP. And there was a lot of people who hadn't necessarily given it a second thought, who saw what it was capable of, what the high levels that it can be played at, and it kind of gives you something to aspire to and something to be like, oh, maybe I should take a second look. Maybe there's something else here.
And the commentators at Worlds were really good.
Yes.
I've got to sort of take my hat off to them. They were really, really good. Really, they really grabbed your attention.
Yes, shout out to my boy Caleb Penghurst was there. Was there Butters? They were all amazing. No, I have to totally agree with you. We mentioned that before, didn't we? Actually,
we did, yeah.
It was a really good event. Really good event. So, Henry, my next question to you is going to get a little bit personal. Let's get... No, I was going to say
that was physical.
The lyrics are physical, yeah.
Hey, buy me dinner first, at least. Come on, Coops.
Yeah, I know. You know, but I've been DMing you. That's what usually happens these days, hey? But it's just from the DMs. No, but bro, I want to find out a little bit more like about you personally. Like, you know, I know you said school and college you did a bit of acting, bit of drama and stuff like that. But what's your 9 to 5? I mean, obviously I know your content's building now, and you know you can see that that's doing incredibly well, and definitely giving you an income, which is just fantastic. I wish that for all creators. I think it's when you put in so much hard work and effort, and people don't realize how hard you do work with it. So that's amazing. But like, yeah, tell me a bit just about you and your life and where you went to uni and etc. etc.
I was born and raised in the Twin Cities in Minnesota, actually. Went to school there, and then, high school there, and then ended up going to college down in Iowa, and that's where I met my fiance. And then we ended up staying here post-graduation. And then I've worked a 9 to 5 basically up until basically the end of this month, and then I will actually be transitioning into full-time content creation, which is very scary, but very exciting at the same time.
Is that breaking news? Is that public domain yet?
It actually has not been announced yet to the general public, so you boys are getting it first.
Wow.
So...
Exclusive.
We didn't get the government name, but we got that, boys. Yes, get in. Oh, mate, that's congratulations. Oh, amazing,
nice one,
dude. That's amazing.
So I'm incredibly happy about that, because since graduating, I've worked primarily in insurance for quite a few years, and it's something that it was more of just a 9 to 5 than something I really enjoyed. So being able to kind of transition to something where I really feel like I'm going to enjoy what I do is just the best feeling ever, because I've basically worked my standard 9 to 5, get off work, eat food, and then do channel stuff for quite a few hours. So it's been a lot of work to get to this point, but I'm hoping to have a bit more free time now that I'm cutting the jobs from 2 to 1. So
fingers crossed, but you'll probably find your workload will double.
Hey, it's possible, but at the very least, cutting some of it out, which should hopefully help.
Listen, Ian, it won't be doubled, mate. Niantic don't release new moves that quickly, bro.
You'll get a part-time job to fill the voids in, won't you, Henry? Yeah, just be something to keep you going.
Yeah.
I am taking a look at potentially starting GBL coaching, because it's something I've had asked of quite a bit.
Nice.
And I've never really had the time to until now. So that is something that I'm definitely looking into as well.
Quite a good avenue, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people looking to improve, and some people are able to improve from just watching content and stuff like that. Some people more prefer one-on-one coaching, stuff like that. So
well, Coops has only hit Legend 3 times, so I think he needs a bit of coaching.
You could be like Coops' sensei. It could be like Cobra Kai for GBL. You could be there going, "Oh, Henry Sensei."
The ginger karate kid.
Okay, fuck off, Ian. Fuck off.
But watching Worlds, like you said, Henry, and Ian mentioned it as well. Like, it's on the cusp of becoming an e-sport, isn't it? Like a proper, full-on recognised one. And like, I understand that if the prize money for these events keeps growing the way it can, it looks like it could do. And then you get more of these events as well. It certainly takes it around the world and everything. People are going to want to, if they're very good at it and they want to get elite at it, of course they're going to want to be coached, and that's definitely a very interesting stream. And I watching it there and seeing how they did sort of simplify it to people that don't get it. I won't never speak for anyone who's not here, but I think that's probably why people maybe like Milo went there and sort of go, do you know what? This has taken it to a level that I really feel engaged on that even more so, and I like this.
Yeah.
And like I've been following a lot of these commentators from it after being there, and I tell you what, they make it come alive, don't they? And I can see why, for the right people like yourself included, why you'd want to do that as well. You know, watching it and hearing it. It's a bit like watching a football match, you know. You sometimes would turn away and listen to it and not watch and still know what's going on. Kind of had it like that with that GBL. And are you scared a little bit? How's your fiance treating it? Is she going to work like 2 jobs to allow you to do that? How's that going to play out?
Nah, she's been very supportive. She was basically the whole reason why I ended up starting the channel in the first place. She was kind of the one who recommended, well, try this. And I mean, the worst case scenario, you hate it and you can stop. So I tried it and I kind of haven't stopped, but she's been incredibly supportive this whole time. Absolutely wonderful. Like, couldn't ask for a more wonderful partner in all of this, just helping this happen. But back to what you were saying about the commentary, that's part of why I believe that, I mean, I obviously love battling, but I'm very passionate about commentary as well, because I feel like that's such an integral part where, if you bring back the football metaphor, of course, like, you can watch a match, be very engaged, but if you have like a very good commentator, it just brings it to life in this extra way where it brings you in, it makes you more engaged. You can't, like, you're laser focused in. And if you're watching a game on mute, I mean, sure, it can be interesting. Like, there can be incredibly good games, but there can sometimes just be that extra level that the commentary can provide. And I think that's really cool. So if we're able to make that happen and kind of show people what is possible with Go Battle League, because I know the learning curve can be a bit daunting, but learning it and being able to play the game, it's incredibly fun.
You mentioned Minnesota. I'm clutching at straws here. Vikings fan? Do you like the Vikings? No.
Actually, yes. Big Vikings fan. Long suffering, big Vikings fan.
I'm so sorry, man.
I finally got to go to a game in their new stadium this past year. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is
mental stadium.
Absolutely unreal. Just state of the art, absolutely incredible. And of course, we lost terribly, but it was a great time.
But I tell you what, Marky boy, come on then. Let's wrap up Grill the Guest with I'm going to say your infamous question for HomeSliceHenry.
Well, Henry, this question is a fun one. I say that, some people probably think it's a stupid one, but hey, it's one of my favourite questions. I like asking every guest that we've had, and we've had some great answers. So, right, imagine you've just seen the Vikings play, Henry. And they're at their stadium, you know, it's the new stadium, not the old one where the roof fell in and all that, the new stadium. And they beat the Green Bay Packers, you know, it should have been their year. The final has been played at their home ground and they still messed it up. But hey, the Vikings beat the Packers. And you're like, hey, this is amazing. Couldn't get any better than this. And the night goes on. But it's just you now. You know, you want to take that party on with you. And you need someone there to buzz off energy and maybe lead you a bit astray for the rest of the night. You need a wingman or a wingwoman, a wing person, or whatever we want to say. But it can't be a person, Henry. It can't be a person. It can be only one. It has to be a Pokemon. So which Pokemon would you pick to be your wing person?
Ooh, there's a lot of good options here. Ooh,
there is.
Tough. One thought would potentially be Shuckle, because I believe Shuckle like puts berries in its shell and they like ferment into alcohol, so you would just have alcohol on tap.
Oh,
so that's a. I think I might have to go with
unbelievably
Shuckle.
strategic.
Because that way, even if I get kicked out of the bars, if I'm still trying to party, I have the technology right there.
Yeah. Henry, you know that answer was literally like you'd gone, right, so they're going to ask me this question, so I need to go. It's like you had it ready to go, but fair play, Shuckle.
It was.
Shuckle.
I feel that's the best answer, one of the best answers we've had, actually. Yeah, if I get kicked out, it doesn't matter. I've got my own
because
supply.
It makes its own alcohol.
Exactly.
So, Henry, we've got a game to play now, and it's going to be you versus Coops versus Mark.
Okay.
It's a PvP game. Coops introduced it a couple of weeks ago, and it's strategically named...
Sneak it in!
So, it's a simple game, and I say that very loosely because I'm crap at it. I'm going to give you a Pokemon, and I'm going to ask you how many fast moves of a certain type it takes to get to a charge move.
Oh, okay.
The first one to get the answer, wins the point. First to 2 wins the game. And I'm hoping for a whitewash here. Coops always claims he's going to whitewash people, but so far hasn't managed to do so.
Do we buzz in? Do we
no,
raise our
literally,
mugs?
it's first come, first serve.
Just shout. But when you shout one, if you do get it wrong, can't believe I'm telling you that. You definitely won't get it wrong. But if you do get it wrong, then you have to wait until the other 2 have answered
That's
to
fair.
go again. You can't just keep going 6, 5, 4. You can't keep doing that.
That's fair.
Damn.
Okay, so we'll start off with what's hopefully quite a nice, easy one to ease you all into this one. So, Medicham, how many counters does it take to get to an ice punch?
6.
4.
Oh, on my screen, Coop's got that one.
Yeah!
Oh, no!
That was so close.
On my end, I heard it simultaneously. Unfortunate.
Okay. Oh, blaming it on lag now, Henry. I see you.
Absolutely. He's got
He uses GBL, of course he's going to blame lag.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. What do you think I do when I lose? Come on, man. We blame the connection. England to England, America to England. Oh, you hate to see.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
Love that.
All right. I'm focused up now.
Ready. Okay, so this one's for you. Armored Mewtwo. And I see Coops looking very, very nervous here. How many confusions does it take to get to a rock slide?
4.
Oh!
Is it me? Yes! Henry, come on, man. Come on. Was that me, Ian?
You've got 2 points. You technically won.
Okay.
Yeah, he has.
You want to go best of 5?
Yeah. Come on.
Works for me.
Yeah, okay. Well, Mark's favourite, Lugia. How many Dragon Tails does it take to get to a Sky Attack?
5.
8.
Yes, Henry.
Oh my God, Henry.
That was quick.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so it's 2-1-0. Okay, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's go Heracross. Everybody likes a Heracross.
Oh God.
How many counters does it take with Heracross to get to a close combat?
5.
4.
I'm going to say 6.
Oh no, he's got it. Oh no.
7.
Oh,
7.
Mark, yes, Mark.
Oh, nicely done.
Oh,
2-1-1. Now, Milo's not here tonight, but we all know that Milo loves an evolution, so we're going to look at Glaceon.
Glaceon.
How many ice shards does it take to get to an avalanche?
6.
5.
Oh, fuck.
2-2-1. So this is the decider unless Mark wins it.
Okay.
Let's find something good for you. Kyogre.
Ooh.
How many of me waterfalls does it take to get to a blizzard?
6.
8.
And Henry?
Oh,
10
no.
it is.
Has he done it?
So
Has
the
he
winner
done
tonight
it?
is HomeSliceHenry. Well done, man.
Henry, lovely.
Congratulations.
Slow to start, but you soon warmed up into that.
To be fair, he plays Master League. I don't actually play Master League. No,
Okay, well, Coops, I actually asked you Pokemon across all 3 leagues. I had actually 3 sheets, so you can't use it as an excuse.
Okay, Mark, can you protect me?
I will protect you if my lag doesn't stop me from protecting you. Henry got all of them right.
Yes, he did get one wrong.
Fractions behind Coops was it 1?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, the Heracross one, I was off by
Yeah,
1.
there was one wrong, but you all got that one wrong. To be fair, so
I run a Rock Blast Megahorn on Heracross, so I don't know the close combat count.
fair
Wait,
play.
guys. Did you guys just hear that? Was that just excuses? Did you? No, fair play. GG. No. What did we say? And that was a good game.
That was a good game. GG's. So anyway, last week during the news, Coop stayed a little bit quiet as he wanted to bring this week's PvP news to you. So it's now over to Coops, HomeSliceHenry, and Masterful27 for this week's news.
It's the news.
Do you know what? I knew you were going to do that. I just knew.
It's 18 months we've been doing this. 18 months. I can't surprise you anymore.
Yes, I agree. So, HomeSliceHenry, because we obviously knew that we were going to have you on for a while now, which we've been very excited for. I wanted to talk about GBL just for 10 minutes, all about Season 12. I wanted to discuss it with you because normally on the news, for every month we announce everything, but last week I thought, no, it's a great opportunity for me to stay quiet and me, you and Mark, and of course Ian can talk about it this week on the show. So, first of all, I wanted to go past everything, right? And I wanted to dive right in to the new moves, because I know that loads of new Pokemon have had an update to their move pool, and we've also had 1 or 2 new moves actually added into the game. A few things changed. Straight off the bat, Henry, obviously I know you've done a lot of videos on them all. What would you say are the 1 or 2 things in Season 12 that people should look out for and people should use that are now actually quite meta?
Yeah, so I would say the first one would probably be Surf Lantern. Lantern has always been very bulky, but prior to this, never really had a great bait move. Thunderbolt's a little expensive, but Surf finally gives it a cheaper charge move and is just an overall big improvement. And then second, I would go with, this is personal bias here, but Runerigus finally got access to Shadow Claw. It has always been a great Pokemon. It has the same stats as Cofagrigus, which is already very relevant, but it was missing a good fast move. Its charge moves were great, fast move was terrible. It finally has a good fast move, and now it finally makes, if you've saved those Galarian Yamask's from Halloween's past, they're finally useful, because Runerigus with Shadow Claw is now pretty awesome in the Great
I still
League.
need to evolve one.
Gotta equip that as the buddy, 10 raids. So
Yeah, that's it. I saw that. I saw it's got a drop. I went to evolve one after watching your video, and I saw the bloody drop down button. I thought, oh, for God's sake!
You hate those. You hate it when you have to do stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I just, I thought I was going to drop down, and it was going to say, make sure you travel around the globe doing 400 lucky trades per day, like, and all this shit. Like, I can't be bothered. But Henry, let's talk about the new attacks in the game. So we've had a new fast attack called Double Kick, which for the trainer battles is going to be 8 damage, and then Fairy Wind is also a fast attack as well. Finally, the opposite of Charm, doesn't do a tenth of the damage, but it definitely charges up a lot quicker, and that's obviously going to be 3 damage. Now, obviously there are loads of Pokemon that can sort of do these moves, which we'll talk about at the end, but let's go over some attack changes now for Season 12 and moving forward, if that's alright with you gents. So the attack changes are, first up with Zap Cannon. The chance to lower the opposing Pokemon's attack is now no longer guaranteed. That's huge. Rest in peace, Registeel, even though it's still really meta.
And next up, we have Icicle Spear. The energy cost is increased from 35 energy to 40 energy, which is a decent nerf to Walrein.
Yes. It needed it, right, bro? It needed it, honestly.
Walrein, yeah, it was too good a little bit.
I'm really, you're an expert at this, aren't you, Henry? You can tell on the article it doesn't tell you what it's been reduced by. You're there going, right, does it by this to this? And I'm just going to read it word for word. Rollout, energy generation decreased. I fucking don't know what that means.
With Ancient Power, the attack and defense increase amount has been lowered. What was the percentage it was at before, Henry?
So it increased your attack and defense by 2 stages, and now it's only going to increase your attack and defense by 1 stage.
By one, fine.
Yep. And then next up we have Ominous Wind, and it's getting a similar treatment to Ancient Power, where the attack and defense increase amount has been lowered. So instead of buffing your attack and defense by 2 stages, it'll just be the 1 stage.
Then you've got Silver Wind, which sees, is it the power increase from 45 to 60, but also very similarly to the previous 2, the attack and defense increase amount has been lowered from 2 to 1. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Hey!
Hey,
You can see why I'm keeping quiet, can't you? You can see why I'm keeping quiet.
With quick attack, energy generation is increased, so Milo will be happy there with his EVs.
Yes. And then finally, Tackle. The energy generation has been increased, so Tackle is now a clone of the fast move Lick, but just a normal type.
And this is all really exciting because, like, you know, as well as so many new Pokemon to try out, I love a new move. You know, I think introducing this type of stuff to the game is so exciting, and there are so many new Pokemon that have added attack updates to their move pools, and I'm going to read out a few which I personally think are really meta, and then obviously HomeSlice, if you want to add in a few at the end as well, you can. So first up, I think Tentacruel will now be able to learn the charge attack Scald. I think that's a huge increase because Hydro Pump literally took 25 million days to get to. And then the next one that I want to shout out as well is going to be Galarian Weezing will now be able to learn the new fast attack Fairy Wind, which means it can get to Overheat incredibly quickly. And of course, HomeSlice did say about Lantern that can now use Surf, which is going to be awesome. And then the last one that I will pick will, of course, as HomeSlice has mentioned, will be the Runerigus will now be able to learn the fast attack Shadow Claw, which is pretty awesome. So, bro, have you got, because I know there's like 20, I'm not going to read out them all, but is there 2 or 3 that you want to add in there that you've enjoyed playing about with in the meta?
Yes, I have really enjoyed Double Kick Dubwool. Double Kick is obviously one of the new fast attacks they added, but that gives Dubwool a long-awaited fast move that is actually worth using. So that has been a big advantage to Dubwool. And then a move update that actually wasn't initially announced, but they ended up having to add in later, was Double Kick has been given to Cobalion. And Cobalion, I don't believe can get low enough for the Great League, but due to this new fast move, I believe it's now ranked top 5 for the Ultra League in PvPoke. So Cobalion, something that not a lot of people paid a lot of attention to, because I mean, it's a Cobalion, wasn't really great for PvP or PvE, but with Double Kick, Cobalion's now very meta relevant for the Ultra League, and Terrakion, which also gets Double Kick, I believe now makes it one of the best fighting type raid attackers in the game. So even if you don't play PvP, still something to watch out for. Terrakion can now learn Double Kick.
What, Terrakion's supposed to be one of like the DPE as well? DP, what am I going on about? PvE.
Yeah.
Damn. I've also seen you do some videos with Camerut, if I'm correct, bro, and Steelix and Dunsparce. Like, you've literally, the content's been pouring out of your channel, bro. Seriously.
Yeah. Steelix is another one where it's pretty decent and great, but it looks to just be a monster in the Ultra League because it's just extremely tanky. And if you combine that with the move it got, Psychic Fangs, debuffs your opponent's defense. So if you combine a Pokemon that can take a lot of hits and stay in for a while with a move that is just going to debuff your opponent again and again and again, like,
yeah,
Steelix is just going to be very good at winning wars of attrition in the Ultra League.
And what about the Dragonite? People say that Dragonite with superpower is also supposed to be really like a massive upgrade for it as well. Like, what's your feels on that?
That is actually one that I haven't personally tried yet, but I am definitely intrigued by it. Superpower gives Dragonite coverage against steals, which is very nice. Dragons, normally their charge moves are resisted by steel, so it's definite help in that regard. Sacrificing Hurricane does mean you have no coverage against fairy moves. Like, so if you go up against the fairy type with your Dragonite now, you have nothing to hit back with, basically. But it does appear to give Dragonite some extra play, just because a lot of metas are very steel heavy. So being able to have that extra coverage of superpower where you can hit back for super effective does make steel types at the very least second guess switching into a Dragonite.
And I do definitely have a confession, boys, if it's okay, because to be honest, I never actually ever thought that this day would come in my GBL career. But the other day, I did actually get beaten by a Dunsparce with a Roggenrola. So I will just say that Dunsparce is now definitely meta. And look, you know, there are other things on here like the Nidorenas, the Nidokings, but I think, Henry, am I safe in saying they've not really going to make them meta relevant?
Girafarig and Coops.
Is that a fair thing to say? I mean, if you watch HomeSlice's video, he kind of killed it with Girafarig and Lady as well.
Yeah, the Anidos, I would say, can pretty safely be ignored. Girafarig, like, in open, it's still going to struggle a bit, but it has, honestly, currently a very good moveset and a very good typing. It's very frail. So in the open Great League, it can struggle just because it gets outbulked, but they do release a lot of different like 1500 CP limited metas, and that's potentially where something like Girafarig could do quite well in the future. So that's a mon that I think definitely got a big improvement. And not really for the open, but in a future limited meta, it could really put in a lot of work.
Thanks for that, bro. Like, do you know what it is? It's really nice because I'll be honest with you, I'm really boring, and I know that. Sorry, Mark, I'm going to talk on behalf of you again. He can pipe up if he doesn't agree, but we're quite boring. We do kind of use the same 5, 6, 7 Pokemon over and over again, and it's nice to talk to someone like you that has no problem creating teams and experimenting stuff. But obviously, you're going to be hitting Legend. Actually, we're all going to be hitting Legend this season. What do you lot think of the avatars? I think they're actually freaking jokes. I think they're well funny.
I actually hadn't seen the pose now, so we get like a live reaction.
Have you not?
I have not. No, I have not.
Yeah.
The clothes are definitely interesting. I will put it at that. I don't mind the pose. I think the pose is kind of neat, but the clothes, I'm a little not 100% sold on, to be honest.
Damn, man, I want those glasses, bro. I need to hit expert. I want those shades.
Give it to you though. Those shades are pretty cool. But yeah,
so to basically wrap up, Ian, the PvP dungeon. you guys want to make a lantern?
Sorry, I've just seen the pose. I could see your avatar with that pose, Coops. It's camp enough for you, yeah, definitely.
What's camper, that one or the one when he's leaning back? What one?
I think the leaning back one's probably the most camp.
But yeah, Henry, what do you think? Do you agree with me, mate? Make a lantern. Get doing GBL. That's it.
Lantern, yeah, very good. And then something that, one little tip, it's not a mon that got buffed, but it's a mon that does really well in the meta with all the buffed mons. I've been having a ton of success with Shadow Obama Snow because a lot of people are running like Lantern core, like makes a really good core with Altaria. So a lot of people have been running Altaria Lantern cores. And you know, it just destroys both of those, Shadow Obama Snow. So that's something where if you have one, it feels like it's back in a big way. I've had a ton of success with it this week.
So Henry, just give the listeners an insight. Season 12's very fresh. We're only into the second week of season 12 now. Where are you sort of rank-wise on it? So you've obviously been experimenting with these teams. You know, you'll lose some and win some. Where are you on the ranking at the moment then?
I am, later today, I should get my starting ELO, so I'll be hitting rank 20. And then from there, I'll be just kind of beginning the climb. I've definitely done a lot of experimenting with whether it's just theme teams or trying new stuff. So I'm usually not in any rush to legend, but I'll usually get there about halfway to a bit over halfway through the season. So I just kind of have fun with it, and when it happens, it happens.
Of course, good luck to everybody on your season 12. You know, as always, just tag us on Twitter. Let us know how you're getting on. Let us know if you hit Ace, Veteran, Expert, and of course, Legend.
And of course, level 2.
And just got a tweet in from you, Ian, actually.
Okay, come on then. Just for a little flex game. Mark and Coops, where are you currently?
Rank 1.
It looks like that I'm rank 19 at the moment, so should hit 20 later today.
I'm going to be honest. I've struggled. And this isn't an excuses, Henry, so please don't fire shots at me. I've struggled this season so far with the meta. I found it really interesting. Like, I'm seeing shit that I've never seen before, which is nice because it's nice to not see Galarian Stunfisk in every game. But I am currently on level 17, rank 17, and I've done 135 battles, and I'm 76 wins in. So it's not my best ratio, but yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay.
Yeah, and that's something where when the meta, like when there's as many changes as there are, there will definitely be some periods of instability, kind of figuring it out as you go. But the changes are something that I'm quite happy with. Because as you mentioned, it does shake it up. It does make people try new things. And that honestly feels healthy especially for a game where they're trying to make it into an esport. Being able to make changes like this and then suddenly have a meta feel very different feels good for the long-term success if they do want to make this an esport down the road.
Come on then, Ian.
I'm currently rank 10.
Hey, let's go.
Hey.
Yeah, but let's face it, you just need to turn up to get to rank 10. You don't really need to even win.
Anyone who's just made it to rank 10 is really proud of themselves. Don't listen to what Ian just said then. We believe you've done well.
Just shooting facts.
So, Henry, you've given us some tips, and I think for the listeners that's really good. So, for someone who's genuinely, you've put the homework in now. If you've genuinely got someone who's going, do you know what, we've got the Great League going on at the moment, and we've got the Psychic Battle Cup, whatever you want to call it, going alongside it. You know, is there anything else you'd suggest? Could you just summarise it like a really nice little bite-sized 2 minutes? If you've got a bit of style, you want to do it, and maybe just sort of explain to the listeners, from someone who plays PvP really well, a little bit about what to look for if they're looking to appraise Pokemon themselves. I think that'd be quite nice.
Yeah. Sure thing. So from a PvP perspective, if you're looking at the Great League, obviously the max CP is going to be 1500 CP. Typically for raids and stuff, you want as close to a perfect IV as possible. But for something like PvP, let's say if you're using like a Dragonite in the Great League, I mean, this is just an example, but Dragonite obviously gets a lot higher than 1500 CP. And in PvP, typically the goal is to try and run higher level Pokemon more often than not. And in the CP formula, attack is weighted higher than HP and defense. So that's why in terms of in PvP, like let's say I want to run a Dragonite below 1500 CP. If I use like a 0-15-15, it's a higher level than if I run like a 15-15-15, like if you're keeping both below 1500 CP. So that's basically the majority of why PvP IVs are somewhat different. And then let's say you have a Pokemon like Dustox that only gets to like 1300 something, then you would just go for the Hundo because it maxes below the league CP limit. But it's basically just when a Mon maxes above it, then that's when those weird PvP IVs with low attack apply. So that way you can just run a higher level Mon and typically a tankier Mon. In terms of, let's say you had like 500k and you're like, I want to try out PvP. One like pairing that I really like is the Nidoqueen and Scrafty pairing. Nidoqueen, we had quite a few events for it recently. Like we had, I think, a Nidoran female spotlight hour, quite a few of those. Nidoqueen with Poison Jab, Poison Fang, and Earth Power is extremely powerful. It's the Poison Jab, Poison Fang combo. Poison Fang debuffs your opponent's defense. So it can be really powerful if you get a couple of those off and just make your opponent weaker and weaker. And Nidoqueen pairs very nicely with something like a Scrafty, because Scrafty is a dark fighter type, so it hates Charm. It just gets smacked around by fairies. But the Nidoqueen does very well against fairy types, so they complement each other very well. And with Scrafty, typically you would want counter, power up punch, and foul play. So basically choosing to lead one of those and having the other one in the back can be super helpful. And that's basically kind of what we call a core in PvP. It's basically two Pokemon that work well together because they cover each other's weaknesses. And then once you have something like those two, typically you would try and go for a Pokemon in the middle that is a bit more flexible. Like, it's a bit on the pricier end, but a lot of people use like XL Purified Sableye as a safe switch for that team. Could always use something on the cheaper end like a Vigoroth as a safe switch or a Dubwool. And those are a couple options of stuff.
You're going to say Dunsparce. I was like,
put in the middle. No, not Dubwool. But yeah, so if you want to use a Pokemon like Vigoroth, the moveset would typically be like Counter, Body Slam, and Bulldoze. And part of what I like about that team of three, something like a Nidoqueen, a Vigoroth, and a Scrafty, all three have pretty cheap charge moves. So more often than not, you're going to be able to get to those charge moves pretty quickly. And your team as a whole will be very good at forcing shield pressure against your opponents. And also, if you do end up trying it, it can be a bit daunting. Don't beat yourself up if you try it at first and you're like, man, I lost, because even the best players lose like 45% of our games. If you just go into it from the aspect of like, hey, I'm going to try something new. Let's see if I can have some fun. It's something that I remain extremely passionate about doing it for quite a few years. And even if you choose to play it, and not even in like, I'm going to grind rank, just every so often, just like, hey, I'm going to do this because it's fun. It's a fun way to kind of learn it. And especially as you kind of figure out more of the strategies behind it as well, it can be a very like engaging game. So it's a game that I really like. And yeah, that's kind of my recommendations for it.
It's good to hear that, because there'll be people that listen to this podcast that have probably never touched it. That's really good advice, you know. You will play sets of GBL and lose them 0-5. Let's get in the real world. This does happen. And,
yes.
And as Ian says, it is forgiving for the first 10 ranks. And actually, you can still win battles and get to rank 20. It's very forgiving like that. That's good, Henry. Thanks for that. And I've made a note of some of those as well, so thank you.
It's something that I see a lot of people kind of beat themselves up over if they try it and they don't have like immediate success. And something that I'm a big believer in is, even if you are trying to push rank, if you kind of prioritize it from just like I'm going to try this and I'm going to have fun. And that's not to say you're not going to learn along the way, but just remember, at the end of the day, it is a game. We're trying to have fun. So let's say you have an 05 set. You're like, well, that sucked. That's fine. You don't have to play the other four. You can go do your stuff, come back at it fresh another day. Like, it's something where it can be a fun addition to going out, playing your game. But let's say if there's like a rainy day, you don't really want to go out and grind during an event, and stationary incense might be a bit rough at the moment. You can just be like, hey, I'm gonna try a set of battles. So,
and I will just say a tip from the casual to wrap this up: if you ever win 5-0, don't do any more battles, because you will go 0-5. That's a tip from me. That's a tip from me. But of course, guys, if you do want to check out the rest of the article about the dates, about the rotation of the leagues, please do check out the article on obviously Pokemon GO's official website. But Ian, we have some more exciting news, so over to you. 4, we're going to play the news jingle again. Why not? Fuck it. Why not?
How did you know? So yeah, we're actually going to talk about the actual main game now. And the month big event, Community Day for September, has literally been announced a couple of days ago. It is going to be Sunday, September the 18th, between 2 and 5 p.m. local time. And the featured Pokemon is going to be Roggenrola, which is amazing shiny. And you know what? I still need 2. I think, is it Mark? You've got them all, or is it Milo? I know one of you's got them all.
I've got them all.
Yeah, I got my final one in Berlin,
So there's just going to be me that's actually grinding this one, but we're going to get the shinies. It's not going to be a problem. We know the crack. Oh, Coops has got 4, flexing it, Okay, so the featured move, the special move that we're going to get during this community, if we evolve our Boulder into a Gigalith during the event or up to 5 hours afterwards, because we've got the raids again this month, we're going to get a Gigalith that knows the charge attack Meteor Beam, and that will give you, this probably means more to you guys than to me. In trainer battles, it has a power of 120, and in gyms and raids, it has a power of 140.
Yeah, so from a PvP perspective, it's going to be a very powerful move. It's not necessarily well suited for a Pokemon like Gigalith per se, but I would say it's still worth grabbing it, but in terms of PvP, it's a very powerful move. It's 120 base damage, 60 base energy, so 2 damage for energy, which is really good. And then that's basically what's been data mined so far, and it's also been data mined that it will increase your attack by 1 stage. So it looks to be a very, very powerful move in Go Battle League. It's not necessarily as well suited to Gigalith, because Gigalith's fast moves don't generate energy particularly quickly, but it's an exciting move for them to add to the game, and I'm hoping that similar to how they had like Rollout, Alolan Golem Community Day, and then they gave Rollout to other mons later. I'm hoping that we'll see Meteor Beam added to some other Pokemon down the road, because it has the potential to be an incredibly powerful move in terms of PvP.
Good stuff.
And as well, I actually think that it's going to be a really good rock type attacker, like against raids as well. Apparently, it's supposed to be a really good budget, so max your hundos.
Absolutely. And I mean, usual Community Day stuff is going to apply. So we're going to get the $1 research box, 79p research box, which of course you can gift if you want to. And event bonuses, we have got the quarter egg hatching distance.
I fucking hate that bonus.
Double candy for catching Pokemon. Incensed activated during the event, and lore modules will last for 3 hours. 1 additional special trade for a maximum of 2 during the day. Double the chance of XL candy for trainers level 31 and above. And, of course, snapshots. Trades made during the day will also require 50% less Stardust. And I'm not going to get into details, but after the Community Day finishes, between 5 and 10 p.m, there's going to be bonus raid battles for Boulder, which the 4-star raids are back.
Let's meet up. I'm excited. Hype. Definitely.
It's a good
hype.
one. It's a good one. And we are looking, hopefully, at, well, I don't know, it depends. Hopefully the 4 of us can meet up, but it depends where we end up doing it, because we've all travelled a hell of a lot in the last month.
And it's on a Sunday as well.
It's a Sunday. It is a Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we hate those ones, don't we? Henry, I'm really sorry, mate. I can't help but notice something that's floating above your head. Is that Mark's pole? Sorry if you didn't get that, bro. Don't worry. He's like, what is happening right now?
It is my poll, Coops. I asked a question, so the Psychic Spectacular. Have you got a shiny? I always pronounce this one wrong. It's LGM, isn't it? LGM.
LGM,
Yeah, LGM.
Shiny LGM yet. And we had 57 votes on our 15-minute poll tonight. And 28% of people have got the shiny, and 72% of people haven't so far. It's admittedly, it's very early in the event. Now, we had a few comments. Kiwi Steve said, "You mean like this one?" Winky face. Found it at work on an otherwise bad day. And then we got some smug git called Poji Mio Uka Yutta.
Yeah, bloody Whitfield got one, didn't he? Like, day in.
Yeah.
Oh, of course he did.
And he's put, yes, smug face at the Gross Glockner. I thought it was Gross Cockner. The Gross Glockner Glacier. Very lovely Milo. And he's put a nice little photo of that.
No one cares, Milo. Well. We said that. No one cares, Milo. No one cares.
But hey, there we go. There's a nice little poll. Whipped it out, Ian. 15 minutes showing, and we got 57 people on it. So not bad going.
Wow. 15 minutes. It's pretty good.
That's quite good. So a lot of people on your poll.
But actually, before we move on, what did you think to Milo's poll last week?
It wasn't as impressive, unfortunately. I like the jingle.
fair.
The jingle was the best bit of that. I heard that, boys. You had me in hysterics when you did that. That was so funny. Oh, dear.
Some would say we're actually quite funny.
Some would say.
That's the Ask the Intern. But anyway, Henry, mate, we're now going to pass it over to you to do my favourite section of the show, and that is going to be, my man, Shinies of the Week.
Shinies of the week.
All right. So first up, we have Dell Hazard X, who got a 5th shiny Eevee and a shiny Pichu as well. So doubling down not just the luck in the wild, also the hatching luck. Which is quite nice.
GG's, Dell.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Next up, we have Sonati6171, who said, I heard people were flexing. How about my Shundo Deoxys? Right there. Holy.
And I think that says first raid as well, right? Does it
yeah,
say
it does. First raid. Mental.
Damn.
Wow.
See, with the Shundo Deoxys, is it quite frustrating because that means you have to do another 100 raids to be able to max it right for the XL candy?
And then next up we have Bravo1883, I believe this is from Instagram, who got the shiny Shadow Charmander, which is a very cool one. And then also got, as we talked about in the poll, the shiny LGM.
Nice
So
one, Bravo.
again, doubling
Nice
up
one.
on the shinies. You love to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, HomeSlice, thank you so much for coming on the show on behalf of all 4 of us, even though Milo's not here. Honestly, we really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And have you enjoyed coming on? Are we gonna have you back on?
I had a blast, yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun, fellas.
What was it,
Season
Marky Boy? Written
14.
contract? What is it? Verbal?
Verbal
Yeah, are you
contract.
going to come back on down the road?
I mean, if you guys invite me back after the shenanigans we discussed.
It depends how many listens we get on the episode. No, I'm joking.
no.
I'm joking.
Oh,
No. I'm joking. But yeah,
Verbal
we'd love to have you back on.
contract done.
Done. But just take a minute, mate. Let everybody know, the listeners, if they don't know who you are, just let them know your YouTube. Just let them know where everybody can find you.
Yeah, I'm HomeSliceHenry. You can find me at youtube.com/HomeSliceHenry or on Twitter at twitter.com/HomeSliceHenry. These are the places where I reside.
Nice.
Nice.
So go over to YouTube right now and subscribe to HomeSliceHenry. I can assure you, if you like GBL, best content out there. Swear to God.
Hey, even if you don't
too
like
kind,
GBL,
too
still
kind.
subscribe.
Yeah, actually, do it.
Again, we are writing up the contract now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And of course, subscribe to Masterful27, Ian Waterfall, and Pogo Milo UK. But everybody, thank you again so much for tuning in to another episode. Like Milo did say at the start of the episode, it will be all 4 of us back next week. Fingers crossed if something...
Nice.
No. Nothing's going to go wrong. We will all be back next week. Once again, HomeSliceHenry, thank you so much for coming on. And speaking of thank yous, a massive thank you to everybody on our Patreon and on our Discord, whether you are a bronze, a silver, or a gold tier member. Thank you so much, and especially to all of the gold tier members. Your guys' pledge really does make a huge difference, especially to the 2 editors as well, Ian and Milo. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Just so many thank yous. So many thank yous to do today. But apart from that, there's nothing else for me to say except, boys, I will see you all next week. I hope you all have an amazing Deoxys raid day, because that will be out as you're listening to
Actually,
this.
Coops.
Yes.
I hope you have an amazing, and it happened last night, Clefairy commotion.
People playing that? Yep. Okay, I didn't know.
People playing that.
I don't know. And on that bombshell, we will be back next week. Toodaloo.
I choose you!